Hey everyone, it's JD here, back with another tutorial. This time we're going to go over Bunker 2 Seeker Agent with the Clipboard Lure strat. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the hardest strats in the game to pull off. To this date, only 4 people, I guess you could count 5 people, have done a completion with this strategy, that being Ace and Clemens up here, who hold the world record. And then Irie and myself have also done it. And Mark here did 41 with the old strat, the standard strat. I say 5 because Henrik down here technically has a completion with this strat, although he did a easier variation with it. And Henrik is the one who actually proposed this clipboard lure strat way back in 2014. It went under the radar for years until Ace finally got a new one tied with it of 42 seconds in 2019. And that was untied for a couple more years until the Cell Warp was revealed in 2021. And then Ace ended up grinding that down to 38, and later Clemens also got 38. And then Irie also decided to play the strat and got a 41, and I also got a 41 with the strat. So that's where it stands today. Only 4 people have a completion with the full YOLO version of the strat, and we're going to go over what that looks like right now. So if we watch my run, it's my tutorial. We got to watch my run, right? Anyway, we'll start off and see what we got here. So, for the cinema timing, you have 3 cutscenes or cinemas in this level. You want to cut about a second after this text appears, after Severnaya Bunker Complex appears. You want to cut a second after it appears. So I cut right there. And we'll go over which cinemas are good, which ones are bad, in a bit here. And you're going to watch the whole second cutscene as well. So you have the proper timing for the patrolling guards. And I won't go over how to do the cell warp. There's plenty of tutorials out there on how to do it, but you don't really need a fast cell warp because the patrolling guard is coming towards you. If you get a really fast warp, you're still gonna have to go a little ahead of the of Natalia's cell to slap him anyway. If you get a slow warp, you'll slap him right as he's next to Natalia's cell. So super fast warp here doesn't matter like it does for, say, if you're going for Agent 20. So just do a standard warp here. You're going to hear some voice chat. Maybe I'll turn it down. In this run I have voice chat. But anyway. Yes. So I do the cell warp, pick up the key, and right here I'm already holding Z to start slapping the guard. You see, like I said, I'm past Natalia's cell, so I have to backtrack. So your warp does not need to be clean at all. Just get but it can't be too slow, obviously. Anyway, after I open her door, I switch to KF7, open the door, and I fire a burst into the back of this guard. You're also going to want to have auto-aim off for this level. It's going to help for this camera, this first camera here, and it's going to help for a few cameras later in the level. But that's something you're going to have to adjust to, is no auto-aim on these guards, because you do have to kill a few guards, and this is one of them. You kill this guard just because you need his ammo. Don't fire more than a burst at this guard. You'll have fired too many shots. Just fire one clean burst into his back. And then, as you turn the corner here, you want to keep looking neutral. Maybe just a little bit higher than neutral will work as well. But anything lower than neutral will not work for hitting this camera. So there's 2 ways to do it. This camera shot, the way I do it is I go down the hall a little bit, then start backing up as you'll see here. I go down the hall a little bit. I end up killing a guard incidentally as well. I'm still firing at the camera. You can't really see it. It's kind of deloaded on my screen, but if you see where my mouse is, it's about right here. It was where the camera will be, right in the center of this back wall. So that's where the camera's going to be. You're just going to want to aim for the center of that back wall and keep that neutral or slightly higher than neutral look. So I end up hitting it on that bullet right there. And you can also see I'm starting to back up. And as my ammo counter gets down to 3, you can see I back up to the left. I'm holding back and left strafe here, C down and C left. And that allows me to get to the left over here. And what that does is that's what lures the guard. You need about 12 bullets fired to lure this guard, the clipboard guard, which is to the right over here. And once I have fired it down to the 12 bullets, down to the 3 ammo, I can then leave the back the way I came. This door cycle can be pretty tight starting out, making this door here. If you're not making the door, if you keep missing it, that means you either need to cut the cutscene a little earlier on average, or it means you're firing these shots here too late. Not these ones, but these ones. You're firing them too late, and thus you're luring the clipboard guard late. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't think you're going to make the door, you can always do a desperation weapon switch to try and warp the closing door, although that doesn't usually work. It's still a good last-ditch effort. Then you're going to want to turn the corner here. There can be a guard here. I feel like it's sometimes cutscene dependent whether this guard is here or not. So I ended up getting a cutscene which is good for the guard not being there. And ideally he's not there.
That was brilliant.
And we'll see runs later when he is there, and I'll show you what to do. But he's not there on this run, so I can continue up the stairs here. Get the documents here. And you're going to want to go to the left of this guard. You kind of see how this guard's hanging to the right here. And if you try to go to his right, you will often get stuck on him. And also, it's just easier to line up and kill this key card guard if you go to the left. And it doesn't really lose time either way. Just a few frames, but on this level, you're not really looking to optimize that many frames unless you're going for like a 2-second untied or something, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, just kill this guard. Again, you have auto aim off, so that's something you'll definitely have to adjust to if you're not used to playing with auto aim off. You just need really good aim on these guards. So I fire clean burst into his chest and his head area. Then I go to the right here. I miss a B press. Obviously, you don't want to do that. So I go for the far camera shot here, which is a little bit faster, or it can be a little faster. But if you're just starting off, you're not very confident in the level yet, I would recommend doing the strat where you build speed in this little like corner here. I think we'll see Ace do it actually when we watch his run. Maybe Irie does it as well, I don't remember. But But I do the far camera shot here. And I get it, so then I back up and shoot this camera. Open the door, and you're looking straight up. I recommend firing before you even start looking straight up. Just so you already have bullets firing at the camera, and then you could get a lucky first shot camera here, which is nice. This camera is kind of tricky doing it the opposite way. So I hit it, and then I switch. After I hit it, I switch to KF7. I forward switch once, and then I open the door. So forward switch before you open this door here. This guard on the other side is going to be right in your face. So as the door's opening, I'm already holding Z to try and hit this guard before he can do anything silly. So I'm holding Z. I fire a burst into his chest, and I kind of right strafe into the table so I can pick up the tape. And the guard, there's going to be a few guards coming out from the lure spot. They could be over here, or even over here, back to behind this wall. And that's just something you'll have to kind of notice as you come through the door here. If this door's open, there could be guards running, and they'll see you here and stop and shoot at you. So then you'll have to react and shoot at him when you come out. But there's no guards here this time, so instead they'll already have passed this door, and they'll be running down to the left here. And so that's what I do. I turn to the left. I notice that there's two guards there, and they're very close together, which is pretty lucky, actually. Usually there's going to be like one guard here, and then the other guard's already far down the hall. But I get a lucky case here where, there's both guards are like in the relative same spot, so I end up shooting both of them, which obviously, doubles my chances of getting the key card or the clipboard. So I shoot both of them. The second guard ended up having it. And then I look up. I break speed, actually, because, you don't really need to keep full speed unless you're going for that world record. If you just want a solid 90 pointer, you can afford to break speed in some places, and this is a good spot to do so, because it can be hard killing that the clipboard guard, obviously, and then immediately going to shoot the camera. So I break speed a little here, get the camera really quickly. And then this shot lineup, it's just the ending is just the same as the normal strat. You want to look up a little for this camera here, aim a little higher, because as you get closer, your angle's gonna be more favorable to hit this camera. If you look higher, a tad bit higher, and you can see I'm not quite hitting it. Just keep firing at it. Keep firing, and hopefully one of these shots will randomly hit the camera, like I did here on the very last shot. But yeah, it's the same as the old strat. You know the deal with that. Warp the door. And it's funny, on the that's run, I didn't realize it completed, and I get a 41. So that was my run. That was my 41 with the strat. Let's take a look at Irie's run, see if he does anything of note here. So he gets this cutscene. So this cutscene's actually not bad for this strategy. As you all should be aware, if you've played this level before, this cutscene is bad for the other strategy, because the first patrolling keycard guard, obviously, it will not be in a good spot. But for the clipboard alert strategy, this cutscene is completely fine. So you'll see him do the same thing here. He has his signature crouch warp, which is not necessary at all. But he does it anyway. So he actually goes for the headshot here. That's another thing you can do here at the start if you're not confident in your ability to make the first door before it closes. You can go for a thick headshot on this first guard here. That is a valid strat. In full strafe, get a headshot, and then go down and shoot this camera, like Irie does. So that he makes the door cycle. So you see he gets a crouching guard there, so he just goes for a headshot. And yeah, he does do this strategy where he builds speed in this little corner here to shoot this camera. That does mean once you come out here, since you're not near the hallway when you're shooting that camera, you're going to need to shoot a little extra before you start shooting this next camera. Wow, he didn't even do it. I'm surprised that this lure even works, honestly. But it did. And he gets the one guard coming out this way. So he just banks on this guard having it. You see he also broke full speed here, which again you can afford to do if you're just going for a solid 90-pointer time. He breaks full speed, makes sure he gets the kill and the clipboard, then goes for the camera. And finishes off the level. He also gets a lucky last-second shot like I did.
Oh my god, is that 41? Dude, just say 41.
Yeah! And it says 41. So, that's Irie's run. Let's take a look at the 38s now. Obviously, since they're the world record runs, they're going to be a lot faster. A lot more fast-paced. So Clemens gets the same cutscene that I did. He'll do the warp. So he also does the, he doesn't do the strafed headshot, I guess. He lures the guard. And, in my opinion, you don't need to go this far down. You see in my run, I just barely go down to this hallway to the right here to get the lure. Clemens goes down a little further. In my opinion, you don't need to go that far down. But it works anyway. So here we go. He gets this guard here. And I'll tell you what to do if you get this guard. You're gonna want to kill him, obviously. But you don't want to shoot him too early. You want to shoot him right as you're, like, right next to him. So that's what Clemens does here. He goes for a headshot. But you're going to want to fire a second burst. Because, as you can see, that guard that you just killed is usually the guard who opens this door. But since he kind of warped further along his patrolling cycle, he's down near... down those stairs already, so he's not going to be able to open this door, so you're going to need to lure the keycard guy to open this door instead. So that's why you fired 6 bullets here, 2 bursts. And this door will also open for you. Right here. A cloning guard opens that door for you, so he can get in your way. And then this shot, this is another thing that starting off you probably don't want to do in full speed. It's really hard to hit in full speed. If you're going to go for it in full speed, my best advice is to keep a neutral look as you turn to shoot this guard here, just keep a neutral look, like right at his chest. Commit to an angle that you're going to shoot him at, and just go for it. There's not really any other better way besides just committing to a certain angle. If he ends up crouching and you miss him as a result, then you miss him. Or if he sidesteps, then it is what it is. Just commit to the first thing you see. And Clemens actually gets a super unlucky boost here from the cloning guard, I believe. But he's able to still clutch this shot because he actually gets boosted into the door here. So he ends up recovering really well and is able to get a quick headshot on this guard here before continuing on. So that was a really nice recovery from Clemens there. So Clemens also does this far camera shot, which is a little faster if you get it pretty fast. He has really clean cameras there, and then he switches to KF7. The guard ends up running to his left, which doesn't matter. That's actually pretty good if he ends up running to your left. That way you can just easily get the tape here. And you can see he's already pretty fast to this clipboard guard here. That's the nice thing about these windows. You can see them running through and anticipate your how you're gonna kill them. And so Clemens already sees this guard, so he knows as soon as he is able to open this door, he's gonna immediately start shooting. Although he won't be right here, he's gonna be more like over here when this door is fully open. So, but Clemens knows that, and he adjusts perfectly, and he'll get a nice headshot here. Gets the camera in full speed. Gets a little trolled at the end, but nothing too bad, and is able to clutch the world record of 38. And finally, let's take a look at Ace's run, see what we can learn from there. So he also gets this cutscene. So you see there, that was the other method of doing it, of backing up, and he ends up doing an R-lean, which also works for getting the lure, as long as you shoot down to 3 bullets on the counter here. So if you're comfortable with pressing R, that's an option for you. Just do the R-lean there. So he also gets this guard here, so he has to turn to kill him and then fire 3 extra bullets as well so he can get the door on the other side open. Wow, this door actually opens really early. So let's see how Ace handles this guard. Like I said, the best way to handle him is just to commit to where he's standing originally, and if he sidesteps or whatever, then that's just how it's going to be. Or you can just break full speed and kill him that way. But if you want to be a cool kid and do it in full speed, then that's the best I have for there. So you can see Ace is already committed that he's gonna stay here, and he's shooting like in this at this chest height area. So even if he crouches down, you'll still get a headshot, and that's pretty much what happens there. So Ace also does this, what Irie does, which is going into this little area here to shoot the camera. So Ace does what I was talking about earlier, which is shooting this camera preemptively, pre-firing this camera basically, which will which should help with getting the clipboard lure. Yeah, I honestly don't know how Irie was able to get away with barely firing any bullets, but he did, so maybe it's another Goldie myth, as they say. But anyway, he's gonna get these cameras super cleanly. That was like first bullet, he was able to see the camera. Nice headshot as soon as the door opens. And again, he sees the guard is coming through, so he's already committing to shoot him. I should mention that getting the clipboard lure is not 100%, but it's not bad odds either. It's like 1 in 3, which is not bad at all. Maybe even it's a coin flip, honestly. It's really not bad if the guard that comes through here is actually the clipboard guard or not. But yeah, Ace is going to commit to this guard that he sees right here. So he opens the door, and as soon as he opens it, he immediately just starts shooting to kill this guard. And he's at a weird angle here. He can't really go for a chest shot, so he just has to go for a headshot here, or keep firing at his shoulder, but no, he does get a headshot in the end, and he does have the clipboard. And he almost misses that camera, but he's able to make it through here pretty cleanly and get a nice 38, which, when he got it, was an untied. So yeah, again, the current record is 38. 37 and even 36 are possible on this level. But if you just want if you already have a solid time on B2, but you want to improve it, get into this low 40s or sub 40 range, then the clipboard strat is definitely the way to go. I would not recommend using the strat if you're going for anything slower than like 42, 43. You don't need the clipboard strat unless you want to like one of these top level times up here. But anyway, that's about all I have to say about this level. Again, DM me on Discord or comment below if you have any questions about the level. I'll be happy to answer. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Fucking terrible out.